The leopard's cough splits the darkness 20 feet below you. Your heart hammers at 180 beats per minute as 60 bodies freeze in the acacia tree that's been home for the night. One sound, one movement, one mistake, and you're dead. This is 4:30 a.m., 1.8 million years ago. You are Homo Habilis. You have no fire, no metal weapons, no shelter except thorny branches. And in the next 24 hours, everything in Africa will try to kill you. Your ancestors lived this reality every single day. Not for weeks or months, but for nearly 1 million years. They were 4 feet tall, 60 pounds, with the muscle mass of a malnourished teenager. Yet somehow, they survived long enough for you to exist. But how? How do you steal breakfast from a 400-pound lioness? How do you outrun a saber-toothed cat when injured? How do you find water when crocodiles guard every source? How do you sleep when pythons hunt in the trees above you? Today, we're going to live 24 hours exactly as your ancestors did. No modern knowledge, no safety nets, just the brutal mathematics of prehistoric survival, where one wrong decision means death, and the right decisions created humanity itself. From the moment you climb down from that tree until you somehow make it back alive, every second will test whether you have what it takes to be human. Because in prehistoric Africa, being human didn't mean being the apex predator. It meant being smart enough to survive when everything else was stronger, faster, and hungrier than you. The sun is rising, the leopard is circling, and your 24-hour fight for survival begins now. The leopard's cough splits the pre-dawn darkness. 20 feet below, clinging to acacia branches that sway with 60 bodies, you freeze. Every muscle locks. Every breath stops. In the blackness of prehistoric Africa, 1.8 million years before humans will discover fire, that sound means death is prowling. Your fingers, more curved than any modern human's, grip bark worn smooth by generations of your kind. The tree is home, sanctuary, prison. Your nose, better than your descendants will ever possess, catches the predator's musk mixed with blood from a recent kill. Still hungry then, still hunting. A baby whimpers. Its mother's hand clamps over its mouth instantly, but damage done. The leopard's eyes, twin amber fires in the darkness, turn upward. It knows exactly where you are. It's known all night. You're Homo Habilis, the handyman, the toolmaker. But right now, tools mean nothing. You're 4 feet tall, 60 pounds of vulnerable flesh, and your strongest weapon is group coordination that's keeping 60 of you alive in this tree. The leopard begins climbing. Your heart hammers at 180 beats per minute. Adrenaline floods muscles built for both trees and ground. Evolution's compromise that makes you mediocre at both. Your brain, 680 cubic centimeters of problem-solving potential, calculates frantically. The branches you're on won't hold a leopard's weight, but it doesn't need to reach you, just panic you into falling. The matriarch, old at 35, ancient by your species standards, makes a decision. She hoots, not loud, not aggressive, a specific sound your band knows. Move higher, now. 60 bodies shift simultaneously. Mothers clutch infants with arms that can still wrap around branches while holding young. Juveniles scramble with practice born from nightly terror. Adult males position themselves between the climbing death and the vulnerable. The leopard pauses. Its hunting software didn't account for coordinated prey. Solitary hunters expect solitary responses. Panic, scatter, isolate, kill. But you're something new on the evolutionary stage. You're prey that thinks collectively. Below, something screams. A bushbuck caught by another predator. The leopard's head snaps toward the sound. Easier meat, guaranteed calories. It descends, melting into darkness, leaving only the smell of fierce sweat and 60 thundering hearts. First light creeps across the horizon, painting the savanna gold. Acacia thorns, your nightly protectors, become visible. The tree that saved you shows scars from 1,000 similar nights, claw marks, broken branches from past panics. One skeleton, picked clean, wedged where someone fell 3 seasons ago. You survived another night, but morning brings new terrors. Climbing down means exposure. The ground means hyenas, wild dogs, 3 species of saber-toothed cats. But staying means starvation. Your gut, designed for constant feeding, not fasting, already cramps with hunger. The matriarch watches, waits, sniffs. Her knowledge spans decades. She knows every predator's routine, every seasonal change, every sign of danger. When she finally grunts the all clear, you know the real survival test begins. Time to leave the tree. Time to face the ground where everything wants to eat you. Welcome today in the life of humanity's earliest ancestors. The sunrise means nothing except better visibility for predators to spot you. The matriarch goes first, always. Her weathered hands, scarred from 35 years of survival, test each branch. Behind her, the strongest males follow. Not from chivalry, but tactical necessity. If a predator strikes during descent, they'll buy seconds for others to scramble back up. Your mid-pack, the safest position. Your infant clings to your chest, its grip already stronger than any modern human baby's will be. Evolution hasn't stolen that from your lineage yet. The 3-year-old on your back weighs 20 pounds. Light by your standards, but enough to make climbing awkward. Below, the ground looks deceptively peaceful. Golden grass waves in dawn breeze. A few gazelles graze 50 meters away. But you know better. In tall grass, death waits on 4 legs. The teenager ahead of you freezes. His eyes lock on something you can't see. The freeze signal ripples upward through climbers. Everyone stops. Hearts hammer. Babies sense tension, clutch tighter. Then you spot it. A hyena. No, 3 hyenas. Lying in grass exactly where you need to descend. They're not hunting. Just waiting. They know your routine better than you do. The matriarch makes a decision that would baffle future anthropologists. She breaks a branch. Deliberately. The crack echoes across the savannah. Every prey animal in 200 meters looks up, including the gazelles. The hyena's heads snap toward the gazelles. Easier prey. Prey that runs instead of coordinates. They lope away, following instinct older than your entire species. Descent resumes. Your feet, with longer toes than any modern human, grip branches like a second set of hands. But you're not built for this anymore. Not really. Your pelvis, widened for upright walking, makes you clumsy in trees. Your shoulders, lacking the rotation of true climbers, force awkward movements. The 3-year-old loses grip. For one heart-stopping second, she dangles from one hand. Your arm shoots out, catches her wrist. Your muscle strength, nearly double a modern human's pound for pound, holds both children easily, but the near miss sends panic through the group. Halfway down, the worst happens. A branch breaks under the teenager. He falls 15 feet, hits ground hard. The crack of breaking bone is unmistakable. His screaming brings every predator's attention. The matriarch doesn't hesitate. She drops the last 8 feet, landing in a crouch that would destroy modern human knees but barely affects her robust joints. Others follow. The ground team forms a circle around the injured boy while others descend. His arm bends wrong. Bone pierces skin. In your world, this is usually death. Not from injury, but from inability to climb, to flee, to contribute. But your species does something remarkable. Something that separates you from every other animal in Africa. You help him. 2 males fashion a sling from plant fibers they've been carrying. A female, his aunt, begins chewing leaves known to numb pain, preparing to pack the wound. The matriarch assigns 2 adults to stay near him all day. You've been on the ground 3 minutes. Already, you spot dust clouds in the distance. Something running. Toward or away? No time to determine. The band moves out. 60 souls, including one who shouldn't survive but will, because you're Homo Habilis. You're not the strongest or fastest. But you're the first species that refuses to leave anyone behind. The river is death and life combined. Every creature needs it. Every predator knows this. Your band approaches like commandos would if commandos existed, spread out, silent, watching every shadow. The matriarch sends scouts first, 2 young males expendable in the harsh calculus of survival. They creep through papyrus stands taller than your species will ever grow, each step calculated. Mud between toes muffles sound. They're not looking for water, they're looking for what's using water. A grunt. Hand signal. Crocodiles. 3. North bank. Another signal. Hippos. Deep pool. Aggressive. The worst signal. Fresh leopard tracks. Still wet, but you need water. The human brain is 75% water. Dehydration means death in 2 days here. The nursing mothers need even more. Producing milk in this heat drains reserves fast. The injured teenager's fever demands fluids. The matriarch processes information like a computer that won't be invented for 2 million years. Wind direction, easterly, carrying scent away from crocs. Hippo position, far enough if you stay south. Leopard tracks, heading away, probably full from a night kill. She decides, southern approach. Fast water collection, no lingering. Your band moves in practiced formation. Outer ring, strongest adults with rocks and sharp sticks. Inner ring, mothers and children. The injured boy carried between 2 males. Everyone knows their role because roles mean survival. At the water's edge, you don't drink like animals. You're smarter. Cupped hands become vessels. You fill hollow gourds, nature's first water bottles. Some drink quickly, but most collect and retreat. Every second at water's edge multiplies danger exponentially. A child spots it first, points. In the shallows, a catfish the size of your torso lies dying. Easy protein, free calories. The teenagers want to grab it. The matriarch's harsh bark stops them. She's seen this before. Dying fish means poisoned water upstream. Maybe natural toxins, maybe volcanic discharge. Doesn't matter. The fish is bait for a trap nature set. Then the real threat appears. Crocodilus anthropophagus, the man-eater. 20 feet of armored death. It erupts from deeper water nobody thought to check. Its target, a mother filling her gourd. Time dilates. Your brain, evolved for quick decisions, processes options in milliseconds. The mother can't run fast enough. The croc is already lunging. Others are too far to help. Except one. The boy with the broken arm, the one who shouldn't even be walking, throws his rock with his good hand. Not at the croc's head where it would bounce off armor, at its eye, the only soft target. The stone hits, the croc flinches, turns slightly. Just enough. Its jaws snap closed on empty air where the mother was a heartbeat ago. She scrambles backward, falls, crawls, saved by someone society says is useless. The band retreats fast, but organized. No panic. Panic means scattered prey, easy picking. You move as one organism with 60 parts, each protecting the whole. 50 meters from water, you stop. Everyone drinks their collected share. The injured boy gets extra, hero's portion. His arm will heal wrong, weaker, but he'll live. The band will ensure it. Because you've learned something no other animal knows. Sometimes the weakest member saves the strongest. Sometimes survival isn't about individual fitness, but collective resilience. Water secured, sun climbing, time to find food before food finds you. The vultures tell you everything. Circling but not landing means the killer is still feeding. Your band creeps closer, using a termite mound as cover. Through grass, you spot it. A lioness over a fresh zebra kill. Your stomach cramps. You haven't eaten meat in 6 days. The children's ribs show. The nursing mother's milk is thinning. That zebra represents 400 pounds of protein, fat, calories that could sustain your band for a week. But it belongs to a killer that outweighs you 4-1. The matriarch studies the scene. One lioness, probably others nearby but not visible. The kill is fresh. Steam still rises from exposed flesh in morning cool. She's eaten maybe 30 pounds. That leaves 370. In your world, ownership is temporary. Every carcass changes hands. Lions kill, eat their fill, leave. Hyenas take over. Crack bones lions can't. Vultures clean up. Then insects. Nothing wastes. You're about to insert yourself into this chain, not at the end, in the middle. While the primary killer still claims ownership. The matriarch assigns roles through gestures refined over generations. 10 adults will be the intimidation force. 20 will form the extraction team. The rest, elderly, mothers, children, stay back as lookouts. Your extraction team, your job, grab meat and run. Don't fight, don't hesitate, don't look back. The intimidation force goes first. They don't attack. That's suicide. They stand up simultaneously from the grass, spread out in a line. 10 bipedal apes appearing from nowhere. They scream, not randomly, coordinated howls that suggest a larger group. The lioness looks up, blood dripping from her muzzle. Her eyes scan the line. 10 opponents. Strange opponents that stand tall, making themselves look bigger. She's programmed to hunt quadrupeds that run. These things are different. She snarls. The intimidation team screams louder, raises arms, throws rocks that land near, not at, her. Harassment, not assault, making her meal more trouble than it's worth. The lioness makes the calculation every predator makes. Calories spent versus calories gained. Defending this kill might cost more energy than finding another. She's eaten enough to sustain her. These weird apes aren't worth the fight. She retreats, dragging the zebra's haunch with her. A compromise. She keeps the best part but abandons the rest. Now you move. The extraction team swarms the carcass like army ants. No fighting over pieces. Everyone knows their target. You go for the liver, nutrient-dense and easy to carry. Others hack at ribs with sharp stones. Someone grabs the tongue, pure muscle, easy calories. Your hands, covered in blood, work with practiced efficiency. The stone flakes you napped yesterday slice through hide, evolved to resist predator claws. You're not stronger than lions. You're just smarter about leverage and cutting angles. A child screams, points. The lioness is returning with 2 others. The matriarch barks retreat. Everyone grabs whatever they've cut free, no greed, no hesitation. The band vanishes into grass, carrying 200 pounds of meat. The lions reclaim their kill, now significantly lighter. You've been there 4 minutes total. 4 minutes that required perfect coordination, role assignment, and collective courage no single human possessed. 4 minutes that meant the difference between starving children and fed ones. Behind you, the lions roar frustration. They know they've been robbed, but can't process how. No single thief to chase. No clear target for retaliation. Just a coordinated group that appeared, took, and vanished. You're not apex predators. You're something scarier. Cooperative scavengers who figured out how to steal from killers. Back at the processing site, a flat outcrop your band has used for generations. The tool making begins, not randomly, with the urgency of people who know that meat spoils fast in African heat. The master napper is a woman of 28, ancient by your standards. Her hands bear scars from years of mistakes that taught precision. She selects a river cobble, examining it like a surgeon planning incisions. The stone must fracture predictably. One wrong strike wastes precious material. Children watch, absorbing through observation. No formal teaching. Your larynx can't form the words anyway. Just watching, mimicking, failing, adjusting. The same way you learned. The same way humans will learn for another 1,000,000 years. She positions the cobble on an anvil stone. The hammer stone, selected for perfect weight and hardness, rises. The strike comes not from the arm but from the whole body. Controlled, precise, crack. The cobble splits, one face shears off clean, leaving an edge sharper than any modern steel knife. But she's not done. More strikes, each calculated. She's not making one tool, she's making several from a single stone. Economy of material that would impress modern engineers. Around her, others work with the flakes. Your fingers, more dexterous than any other hominins, turn a simple flake into a scraper. The trick isn't strength, but angle. Pressure applied just right removes tiny chips, creating a specific edge for specific work. You're making something unprecedented in Earth's history. Not just tools, toolkits, choppers for breaking bones, scrapers for cleaning hides, sharp flakes for cutting meat, pointed tools for precision work, each designed for a purpose that exists in your mind before it exists in stone. A teenager tries to copy the master. His strike is wrong. Too hard, wrong angle. The stone shatters uselessly. In your world, this mistake could mean death. No tool means no food processing. No food processing means starvation. But the master does something remarkable. Instead of taking over, she guides his hand, shows the wrist rotation needed, the precise angle. She's not just making tools, she's making tool makers, transmitting knowledge that took generations to accumulate. The work is interrupted by a bark from the lookout. Danger approaching. Your band looks up to see 3 Paranthropus Boisé individuals watching from 40 meters away. Your robust cousins, the Nutcracker men. They're not threats exactly, but they're competitors. Their massive jaws can crack foods you can't. They can digest plants that would poison you. In lean times, they take resources you need, but they can't make tools like yours. Their fingers lack your precision. Their brains, while respectable, don't visualize the way yours do. They watch your stone working with something like envy or fear. The matriarch makes a decision that anthropologists will argue about for centuries. She tosses them a flake. Not the best one. That would weaken your band. But functional. Sharp enough to process food. They take it and leave. No thanks. That concept doesn't exist. But no aggression either. 2 human species sharing a landscape, maintaining uneasy peace through calculated generosity. Tool-making resumes. In an hour, you've created 30 implements. Some will last days, others mere hours. But each represents something profound, the ability to extend your body's capabilities through technology. You're the weakest ape in Africa, but with rocks in your hands you become something else. Something that can pierce hide no tooth could penetrate, cut meat no nail could slice, crack bones no jaw could break. The matriarch leads you to a patch of dried earth that looks like everywhere else. But she knows better. Her mother showed her this spot, her mother's mother before that. Knowledge passed through generations without writing, without words, just repetition and memory. She kneels, runs fingers over tiny green shoots most wouldn't notice. Below, she knows, are tubers, dense packages of carbohydrates that could mean survival when meat is scarce. But they're 2 feet down in earth baked hard as concrete by the dry season. This is where being human pays off. You pull out your digging stick, a branch worn smooth by use. Tip hardened in fire you didn't make but found after lightning strikes. It's not much, but combined with intelligence and persistence, it's enough. The work is brutal. Each thrust into earth barely penetrates. Sweat pours off you in the noon heat. Your lower back, not fully adapted to upright posture, screams with pain. But you continue because the alternative is starvation. Around you, others dig their own holes. It looks random, but isn't. The matriarch assigned positions based on plant knowledge accumulated over decades. Each digger targets a different tuber cluster, maximizing yield while minimizing effort. A child cries out. She's found one, a tuber the size of your head, but it's too deep for her short arms to reach. Without hesitation, 2 adults abandon their holes to help hers. Individual success means nothing if the group fails. The tuber comes free. 8 pounds of concentrated nutrition, enough to feed her family for 2 days. But she doesn't hoard it. It goes into the communal pile. Later, the matriarch will divide based on need, not contribution. 30 minutes in, disaster. Your digging stick snaps. Brittle from overuse, it breaks at the worst moment when you're almost at your target. No time to find another. The sun is climbing toward peak heat when even you must seek shade. Another digger, a male you've had conflicts with over food, hands you his stick without being asked. He'll dig with his hands now, less efficient but possible. This isn't altruism, it's calculated cooperation. Today you need help. Tomorrow he might. Then the real danger arrives. A honey badger, drawn by the digging sounds. 3 feet of pure aggression. It wants your tubers. Normally, you'd retreat. Honey badgers fight lions and win, but you've invested too much effort. Those tubers represent survival. The band responds collectively, surrounding the badger but not attacking. 30 humans forming a circle, all screaming, stamping, making chaos. The badger is fearless against individuals, but confused by group intimidation. It charges at one person. The circle flexes but doesn't break. It charges another direction. Same response. You're not fighting it, you're exhausting it, making confrontation more costly than retreat. Finally, frustrated, it leaves. But not before marking its scent everywhere, a promise to return when you're gone. You'll need to process these tubers elsewhere or risk another confrontation. The haul is impressive. 40 pounds of tubers, rich in calories, minerals, nutrients your fruit-focused ancestors couldn't access. But they require processing. The toxic compounds must be leached out. The tough fibers need breaking down. That's tonight's work. For now, you've secured calories that don't run away, don't fight back, don't require coordination to acquire. Just knowledge, tools, and the unique human ability to invest present effort in future food. The sun reaches zenith, time to find shade before the heat becomes deadly. Even successful foraging means nothing if hypothermia kills you. The heat shimmers off the savannah, creating mirages that hide real dangers. This is the killing hour. When most prey seeks shade, predators hunt the desperate and careless. Your band needs to move from the digging grounds to the processing site, 1/2 mile of open ground where death waits. The matriarch reads the landscape like modern humans read maps. That acacia cluster could hide lions. The termite mound provides ambush cover for leopards. The tall grass conceals everything. But staying here means certain detection. The honey badger will return with friends. She chooses the route, along the dried riverbed, more exposed but better visibility. You can see threats coming. Maybe. The formation is instinctive. Strongest adults on the perimeter, mothers and children center. Injured teenager, arm healing but still weak. Protected in the middle. Everyone carries stones. Not randomly selected, chosen for throwing weight, shaped for grip. You move in synchronized steps. No talking. Sound carries too far. Eyes scan assigned sectors. You watch left. The male beside you watches right. Overlapping fields of vision mean no blind spots. 50 meters out, the point scout freezes. Hand signal, danger, ground level. Ahead, everyone stops. Hearts pound. In grass 20 meters away, something moves. Not wind, deliberate movement, stalking movement. Then you see it. Meganterion, the dirk-toothed cat. 200 pounds of muscle designed for killing creatures exactly your size. Its saber teeth, 5 inches of curved death, evolved to puncture skulls, your skull specifically. It's hunting the stragglers, watching for someone to separate. Standard predator strategy: isolate, attack, kill. But you're not standard prey. The matriarch makes a decision that goes against every instinct. Instead of bunching tighter, she spreads the group out. 60 humans forming a line 100 meters long. No individual target, no clear weakness. Then she does something that won't be formally studied for 2 million years. She initiates mobbing behavior. Like birds harassing an owl, your band starts pelting the cat with stones. Not to injure. You couldn't penetrate its hide. To annoy, to frustrate, to make hunting you more trouble than it's worth. The stones rain down. The cat flinches, snarls, retreats a few steps. More stones. It charges briefly at one section of the line. That section retreats while others advance, maintaining pressure. You're not fighting. You're managing its behavior through coordinated harassment. But Meganterion didn't survive this long by giving up easily. It circles, looking for weakness. Then it spots what it wants. A child who's wandered 3 steps from mother while throwing stones. The attack is lightning. The cat springs from grass, covering 15 feet in a heartbeat. Its jaws open for the killing bite. The mother doesn't think. She throws herself between child and cat, the sabers meant for small skull meat adult shoulder instead. Blood sprays. She screams. The cat's momentum carries both to the ground. What happens next is pure Homo Habilis. No individual heroics, just collective violence. 60 humans converge on one cat. Stones rain point blank. Digging sticks become spears. Someone, you never see who, drives a sharp flake into its eye. The cat releases, flees, not dead but wounded, half blind, defeated by something that shouldn't exist. Prey that fights as one organism. The mother lives, barely. The wounds are deep but missed arteries. 2 males fashion a litter from branches. She'll be carried, federal protected. Her child clings to her, covered in her blood but alive. The band moves on. No celebration. In your world, surviving one predator just means you're available for the next. The processing site is still 400 meters away. Every step could bring new death. But you've proven something. You're not the strongest or fastest, but you're the most coordinated species Africa has produced. And coordination beats strength when the numbers are right. The processing site, a rocky outcrop with good visibility, is already occupied. 3 spotted hyenas gnaw on old bones, marking territory with anal gland secretions that make your eyes water from 50 meters away. This is their space now. But it was your space this morning. Will be yours again if you can displace them. The zebra meat is already starting to spoil in the heat. You need to process it now, or lose half to putrefaction. The matriarch evaluates. 3 hyenas versus 60 humans. Good odds, except hyenas don't fight fair. Their bone-crushing jaws generate 1,100 pounds of pressure per square inch. One bite shatters femurs. And they're smart, possibly smarter than you in some ways. But you have advantages. Height for visibility, stones for distance weapons. Most importantly, you have desperation. That meat represents your children's survival. The approach is psychological warfare. Your band spreads into a crescent formation, slowly tightening like a noose. No rushed attack, just steady pressure. The hyenas watch, calculating. They're outnumbered 20-1, but they've faced these odds before and won. The first stone throws are deliberate misses, landing near, not on them. You're offering them a choice: leave with dignity or fight and maybe die. It's the same courtesy they sometimes show you at carcasses. One hyena breaks first, the youngest, least invested in this territory. It lopes away, looking back repeatedly. Now it's 2-60, better odds. But the remaining two are a mated pair. This is their nursery den nearby. They have cubs hidden in the rocks. Leaving means potentially losing their offspring to infanticidal males. They'll fight. The female charges, not at the center where adults wait, but at the edge where teenagers stand, smart. Target the weak. Her jaws snap shut inches from a boy's leg. He falls backward, scrambles away. The line breaks. This is the critical moment. Panic is contagious. If one person runs, others follow. The formation collapses. Hyenas win. But the matriarch's bark stops the rout. Harsh, commanding, it triggers deeper obedience than fear. The line reforms. Stones fly with purpose now. Several hit the female. She retreats, limping slightly. Her mate takes over, but his heart isn't in it. Without her, he's just 1 against 60. Then, something unexpected. From the rocks, 3 hyena cubs emerge, tiny, spotted, mewing for parents. They waddle toward danger, too young to understand. Your band could kill them easily. Future competition eliminated. Some males move to do exactly that. The matriarch stops them with a gesture, not from mercy. That concept doesn't exist, from wisdom. Dead cubs mean parents who'll fight to the death. Living cubs mean parents who might negotiate. She makes an offer that transcends species. Your band retreats 30 meters. Enough space for hyena parents to collect cubs and leave with dignity. In return, they abandon the site. It works. The hyenas gather their young, the female limping but managing. They retreat to secondary den sites. You've won without bloodshed. The processing site is yours. Now the real work begins. The zebra meat must be cut into portable pieces. Strips for drying, chunks for immediate consumption, everything useful taken, sinew for binding, hide for carrying, bones for marrow. Your hands work with practiced efficiency. The stone tools you made this morning slice through tissue. You know anatomy intimately, which direction muscle fibers run, where tendons attach, how joints articulate. Knowledge gained from processing thousands of carcasses. Around you, others work their specialties. Someone processes the stomach, extracting partially digested grass that's easier to digest than raw vegetation. Another cracks bones for marrow, using hammerstones with perfect accuracy. Children learn by watching, occasionally trying, mostly failing. But each failure teaches. Your 3-year-old mimics your cutting motion with a blunt stone. She's learning the movement pattern that she'll perfect over the coming years. The vultures circle overhead, patient. They know you'll leave something. You always do. It's not waste, it's investment. Fed vultures lead you to future carcasses. In an hour, 200 pounds of meat becomes portable nutrition. The band will eat well tonight. While adults process meat, the children occupy themselves in ways that look like play, but aren't. Your 7-year-old son practices with stones, trying to hit a target, a gourd placed on a rock 10 meters away. He's missed 43 times. On the 44th, the stone connects. This isn't recreation, it's survival training. By 10, he needs to hit moving targets. By 12, his stones must drive off predators. By 14, he'll help intimidate lions. The play is practice for staying alive. Your 3-year-old daughter watches an older girl scraping hide. She mimics with a stick on bark, learning the motion if not the purpose. Her muscle memory is forming, neural pathways establishing. When she's given her first real tool, her hands will already know the movement. But childhood here isn't gentle. A 9-year-old boy shows off, climbing higher in an acacia than others dare. He's establishing dominance, proving fitness. Then a branch breaks. He falls 8 feet, lands hard. His ankle twists wrong. No one coddles him. The matriarch examines. Not broken, just sprained. He'll walk it off or become leopard food. Harsh? Yes. But coddled children don't survive here. Pain is education. Fear is wisdom. The teenagers practice something more complex. Coordinated group movement. 6 of them attempt to surround a monitor lizard. It's not dangerous, just fast and good practice. They're learning positioning, timing, communication without words. They fail. The lizard escapes easily, but failure is data. Next time, they'll spread wider, move slower, coordinate better, if they survive to try again. Your infant, 8 months old, clings to you constantly. His grip strength, triple what modern human babies possess, keeps him attached while you work. He's learning through proximity, the smell of blood, sound of stone on stone, rhythm of survival. His brain is recording everything. Then crisis. A child's scream pierces the air. Real terror, not play. Everyone looks. A 6-year-old girl has wandered beyond the safe zone. Behind her, stalking through grass, is a jackal. Small for adults but perfect size to take a child. The response is instant. Not from parents. They're too far. From other children. 3 boys, none over 10, grab stones and charge the jackal. Not bravely, terrified, but they charge anyway because that's what you do. You protect the group's young, all of them. Their stones miss, but the message is clear. This prey has backup. The jackal calculates, decides against it, melts away. The girl is retrieved, scolded harshly. That scolding might save her life next time. But the real education happens now. The matriarch gathers the children, uses gestures and demonstrations to show what happened, how the girl's isolation made her vulnerable, how the boy's response saved her, how the jackal picked her from the group. She's teaching tactics, group dynamics, predator psychology, lessons that can't wait for adulthood because childhood might not last that long. Your son approaches with his stones. He wants to show his accuracy improvement. You're about to watch when the lookout barks. Something coming. Everyone tenses. But it's not predators. It's another Homo Habilis band. 30 individuals, looking as worn and hungry as you. They've been tracking your success, following vultures that follow you. Competition or cooperation, the matriarch must decide quickly. They're not family, but they're human. They could help or harm, share resources or steal them. She chooses something between. They can have the bones after you extract marrow. The scraps you'd leave for vultures. It's not generosity, it's politics. Fed neighbors are less likely to become desperate enemies. The children watch your children, learning by observation. Your techniques spread to their band. Their knowledge might spread to yours. Information exchange that doesn't require language, just proximity. The afternoon shadows grow long, creating perfect ambush conditions. You're returning to the sleeping trees, bellies full, guard dropping from success. That's when Dinophelus strikes. The false saber-tooth has been following for an hour, patient, calculating. It specializes in hominins. Your size, your speed, your reflexes are its expertise. Its teeth, shorter than true saber-tooths, are perfect for crushing primate skulls. It knows your patterns. knows you relax after feeding, knows the juveniles lag behind, drowsy from meat. It studied your band specifically, recognizing individuals. It knows the injured teenager can't run full speed. He's the target. The attack comes from a termite mound's shadow. Silent until the last second, the teenager sees death coming, but his damaged arm makes climbing impossible. He screams, not randomly, but specifically. A call that means, big cat, ground level, help, now. Your band's response is programmed through millennia of selection. Those who responded survived to breed. Those who hesitated died. No one thinks. Everyone acts. The nearest adults throw themselves between cat and boy. Not heroically, automatically. Their bodies are shields buying seconds. The stones fly before anyone aims. Dozens of rocks. Most missing, but some connecting. Dinophalus is confused. Its hunting software expects prey to flee or freeze. You're doing neither. You're advancing. 60 humans closing in, screaming, throwing, coordinating. Its attack on one triggered response from all. But this cat didn't survive by giving up easily. It pivots, charges at a mother carrying an infant. She can't dodge quickly. Perfect target. Its jaws open for the killing bite. Your body moves before your mind decides. The digging stick in your hand swings like a club. It connects with the cat's skull just as its teeth near the mother's throat. Not enough to injure seriously, you're too weak for that, but enough to deflect. The bite misses by inches. The cat turns on you. Those yellow eyes lock onto yours. You see death. It sees prey. For a heartbeat, you're alone with a killer built specifically to destroy your kind. Then the stones hit. Not random throws now, but targeted strikes. The band has surrounded you both. Every human who can throw is throwing. The cat is catching rocks from 360 degrees. Its confusion turns to panic. It breaks through the circle, takes hits doing it. Blood streams from cuts. One eye swells shut. It flees, wounded and defeated by something that shouldn't exist. Coordinated prey that fights collectively. The teenager lives, the mother lives, you live, but everyone knows this was luck. Dinophalus will heal, it will return. Smarter, warier, hungrier. The matriarch makes a decision. Tonight's sleeping trees will be further away. The cat knows your current location. Staying means inviting another attack when you're vulnerable. The band moves out. Exhausted but alert. The injured teenager is carried now. His survival cost energy the band couldn't spare but spent anyway. Because that's what makes you human. Not your tools or your brain, but your absolute refusal to let predators take your weak. As you walk, you notice the other band following at a distance. They saw the attack, saw your response. They're learning your techniques through observation. Next time Dinophalus hunts, they'll know what to do. Information spreads between bands without words. Survival strategies propagate across populations. Your successful defense becomes their future tactic. Culture spreads through imitation. The sun drops toward the horizon. Golden light makes the savannah beautiful. But beauty means nothing here. Only survival matters. And survival means reaching the sleeping trees before darkness brings the night shift of killers. Your infant whimpers, hungry again. You'll nurse him while walking. No time to stop, never time to stop. Because in your world, stopping means becoming something else's meal. Behind you, Dinophalus watches from a distant rock, wounded but not defeated. It's learned something today. You're dangerous when grouped. Next time, it will wait for someone truly alone. But there won't be a next time if you're careful, if you maintain vigilance, if you never forget that in prehistoric Africa, you're not the protagonist. You're just trying not to be someone else's dinner. The afternoon light turns golden, signaling the race against darkness. Your band scatters across the savannah in practiced formation, mothers with infants staying close, teenagers ranging wider, elders directing from experience burned into memory through decades of survival. You head toward the fever tree grove, where yellow bark peels in medicinal strips. Your stomach cramps remind you that meat alone isn't enough. Your body needs the nutrients hidden in leaves, bark, and fruits that dot this dangerous landscape. The matriarch guides you to a patch of wild melons, small, bitter, but full of water and vitamins that prevent the bleeding sickness that kills during dry seasons. Your hands work quickly, filling the carrying sling woven from grass fibers. Each melon must be tested first. A quick bite to check for the rot that brings death in hours. Nearby, others strip bark from the fever tree, not randomly, in careful spirals that won't kill the tree. These trees are too valuable to destroy. Their bark fights the burning sickness. Their shade provides refuge. Their height offers escape routes when ground predators hunt. A teenager calls out. She's found a beehive. Wild honey means concentrated energy, but the bees defend it savagely. Your band forms a circle around the tree. Someone builds a small smoking fire with dried elephant dung. The smoke calms the bees enough for quick honey extraction. Your fingers, sticky with golden treasure, work fast. The bees recover quickly from smoke. Their stings, while not fatal, cause swelling that makes climbing difficult. In a world where climbing ability means survival, even bee stings can kill indirectly. The real prize appears when a child points toward a cluster of marula trees. Ripe fruit hangs heavy on branches, sweet, nutritious, and fermenting in the heat. But reaching them requires climbing into the canopy where leopards hunt and branches break under body weight. The decision splits the group. Send the lightest climbers, children who might fall but weigh least, or strongest adults who climb safely but might break branches. The matriarch chooses compromise. Teenagers climb while adults position below to catch the fallen, fruit or people. Success and disaster strike simultaneously. Fruit rains down from successful climbers while a branch cracks ominously under one boy's weight. He dangles 15 feet up, legs kicking desperately. Below, 2 adults interlock arms, creating a human safety net. He drops, they catch. Everyone survives. But the noise attracts attention. Baboons appear at the grove's edge, direct competitors for the same fruits. 40 baboons versus your 60 humans. Similar intelligence, better climbing, more aggressive. This could become violent. The standoff lasts minutes. Baboons chatter threats. Your band holds position, making noise but not advancing. Both species need these fruits, but neither wants the casualties that fighting would bring. Finally, the baboon troop moves to trees your band hasn't reached. Shared territory, divided resources. As shadows lengthen, your gathering intensifies. Every plant gathered now might prevent starvation later. Wild onions for their disease-fighting properties. Certain grasses whose seeds provide concentrated nutrition. Leaves that settle upset stomachs. The race against darkness becomes literal when vultures circle nearby. Their presence signals death, possibly predators feeding. Your band must return to safety before whatever killed attracts night hunters to your location. You retreat with bags full of plant medicine, concentrated nutrition, and life-sustaining variety. The meat feeds muscles, but these plants feed everything else. Bones, blood, the intricate chemical systems that keep you breathing. Sunset approaches. Time to gather not just food, but the group itself. In darkness, scattered humans become easy prey. Your 3-year-old raises her hand, fingers spread, then points toward the acacia grove. Without words, she's told you 5 important things. There are animals, they're large, they're grazing, they're peaceful, and they're in that direction. This wordless language keeps your species alive. The gesture system your band uses developed through necessity. Your vocal cords can't form the complex sounds later humans will master. But your hands, more dexterous than any other primates, speak volumes through movement. The matriarch demonstrates leadership through posture alone. When she stands tall, scanning the horizon, everyone knows to watch for danger. When she crouches low, all 60 humans drop simultaneously. No discussion needed. Her body language triggers automatic responses refined through generations of survival. But today brings communication crisis. The injured teenager, arm healing wrong, can't make full gestures. His damaged limb limits his ability to speak effectively. Yet he spots danger first. A honey badger approaching the meat processing area. His frantic one-handed signals alert the group just in time. Your band's gesture vocabulary contains hundreds of specific signs. A cupped hand means water. Fingers wiggling downward indicate digging required. Two hands forming a circle warn of large predators. The sign for safe requires both hands touching chest, something the injured boy can't do. He adapts, creates new signals. Touching chest with good hand while nodding becomes his version of safe. The innovation spreads through the group within hours. By evening, half the band uses his modified signal. Language evolves in real time through necessity. The complexity emerges when hunting signals begin. 15 adults must coordinate an approach to steal from lions without verbal planning. The lead hunter uses intricate hand positions to assign roles. You flank left, 3 others circle right, 5 create distraction, remainder stays ready for retreat. Your brain, smaller than modern humans but remarkably sophisticated, processes these visual commands instantly. The gesture triggers muscle memory developed through countless similar operations. Your body moves before conscious thought, following patterns that mean survival. Children learn this language through constant observation. Your 7-year-old mimics adult gestures, practicing emergency signals like other children might practice games. His accuracy improves daily because inaccurate communication means death for himself and others. The most sophisticated signals involve time concepts. Pointing at sun position indicates when action should occur. Finger counting shows quantities. How many animals? How much distance? How much time? Mathematics expressed through movement rather than numbers that don't yet exist. Emotional communication proves equally complex. Comfort gestures calm, frightened children. Warning postures establish dominance without violence. Submission signals prevent conflicts that could fragment the group. Touch becomes language. A hand on shoulder means reassurance. Both hands raised means celebration. Distance communication develops when the group spreads across the savannah. Arm movements visible from hundreds of meters convey critical information. Danger approaching, food discovered, retreat necessary, all without sounds that might alert predators or prey to human presence. But the system has limits. Abstract concepts remain impossible to express. You can signal immediate dangers, but not theoretical ones. Present events, but not past or future ones beyond immediate planning. Complex reasoning requires physical demonstration rather than gestural explanation. The breakthrough comes when someone combines gestures with ground drawing. Using sticks to scratch patterns in dirt combined with hand signals allows planning that approaches true language. Routes marked in earth. Danger areas indicated with stones. Safe zones outlined with scratches. Evening brings the daily gesture lesson. Elders teach young the signals they'll need tomorrow. Hunting signs, danger warnings, food location indicators. Knowledge transmitted without books, without words, just hand to eye to brain, to memory. Your species stands at language's threshold, communicating complex ideas through movement and spatial intelligence. You can't yet tell stories, but you can plan raids, coordinate defense, share information across generations. Tomorrow's survival depends on today's communication. Every gesture matters because each one might prevent someone's death. The sun's final rays illuminate the greatest daily ritual of your species, the sharing of food that transforms 60 individuals into a single surviving organism. No hierarchy, no hoarding, just the complex calculations that mean everyone eats or no one does. The matriarch oversees distribution with mathematical precision your species won't formally understand for 2 million years. Her eyes assess each person's needs, the nursing mothers requiring extra fat, the injured teenager needing healing nutrients, the children whose growing brains demand constant fuel. The zebra meat, stolen from lions this morning, anchors the feast. But meat alone would kill you. Your stomach needs the plant foods gathered throughout the day to properly digest animal protein. The wild onions fight parasites. The bitter leaves neutralize toxins. The sweet fruits provide quick energy. You sit in the circle's traditional spot, your injured friend beside you despite his uselessness in today's hunts. No one questions his right to eat. Yesterday he spotted the crocodile that nearly took the mother. Tomorrow he might save someone else. Investment in damaged individuals pays long-term dividends. The children eat first, always. Their developing brains consume 25% of their body's energy, double an adult's proportion. Starved children become stupid adults. Stupid adults become dead humans. The group's genetic future literally depends on feeding its young properly. Your 3-year-old tears at meat with teeth designed for softer foods. You pre-chew the toughest pieces, using your saliva's enzymes to begin digestion before she swallows. Disgusting by future standards, essential for current survival. Her small stomach can't handle what yours can. The sharing follows invisible rules refined through generations. Those who contributed most to today's success, the lion intimidators, the successful diggers, the plant gatherers, receive choice portions. But choice means better cuts, not more food. Quantity distribution remains equal regardless of contribution. Conflict erupts when a young male tries to hide extra meat for later. The matriarch's response is swift and harsh. Public humiliation, reduced portions tomorrow. Temporary group shunning. Hoarding threatens everyone's survival because it destroys the trust that enables cooperation. But forgiveness comes quickly. After suitable punishment, the hoarder is welcomed back. Grudges are luxuries your species can't afford. Today's transgressor might be tomorrow's hero. The group that abandons members over mistakes eventually has no members left. The elderly receive special portions, the brain tissue rich in fats their aging bodies need, the tender organs easier for worn teeth to process. Their physical contribution has ended, but their knowledge value remains immense. They know which plants heal, which seasons bring plenty, which signs predict drought. Conversation happens through gestures and expressions rather than words. Stories about today's adventures, observations about weather patterns, planning for tomorrow's challenges. The injured teenager demonstrates his new one-handed signals while others practice them. Innovation spreads through imitation. The feast serves multiple functions beyond nutrition. Social bonds strengthen through shared meals. Conflicts resolve through proximity and mutual dependency. Information transfers between individuals as surely as calories move from meat to muscle. Cleanup is communal too. Bones go to specific piles for later marrow extraction. Hide pieces are scraped for eventual tool use. Nothing wastes because waste means death postponed to another day. Even the vultures receive their share, scraps deliberately left to maintain relationships with scavengers who lead you to future carcasses. As darkness deepens, the feast transitions into preparation for night's dangers. Bellies full but hearts racing as evening predators begin their hunts. The communal meal has provided energy for whatever comes next. The last act of sharing involves water, precious liquid passed mouth to mouth for the youngest children who can't yet manage containers. The same mouths that tore meat now gentle themselves for helpless infants. Violence and tenderness coexisting because both serve survival. Tomorrow will bring new hungers, new dangers, new tests of group cohesion. But tonight, 60 stomachs contain the shared rewards of cooperative effort. Individual success converted into collective survival. The feast ends as it began, with calculation, generosity, and the complex trust that makes humanity possible. Darkness approaches like a predator itself, and your band begins the evening rituals that determine who lives to see morning. The sleeping tree selection process has begun, a life or death decision disguised as simple shelter seeking. The matriarch leads the inspection of candidate trees. Height matters. 15 feet minimum to escape most ground predators. Branch strength must support 60 bodies without breaking under shifting weight during sleep. Trunk diameter determines climbing difficulty. Too thick and children can't ascend. Too thin and adults can't grip properly. Tonight's choice is a massive baobab, its hollow trunk offering additional protection for the most vulnerable. But first, the tree must be cleared. Your band forms a perimeter while scouts check for existing occupants. Pythons that could swallow children. Boomslang snakes whose venom kills in hours. Aggressive birds defending nests. The preparation ritual begins with the daily cleaning. Bodies must be groomed before cramming together in confined spaces. You use grass bundles to scrub blood and plant juices from skin. Others pick parasites from each other's hair. Tiny insects that carry diseases but also indicate general health when abundant. Your injured friend requires special help. His healing arm makes climbing difficult, so others position themselves to assist his ascent. This isn't charity. His weight distribution affects everyone's comfort tonight. A falling body in darkness could knock others from branches to their deaths below. The children undergo their evening check. Each must demonstrate climbing ability while visibility remains. Those too tired from the day's exertions get additional food to provide climbing energy. Weakness in one threatens all. If a child falls during night ascent, parents will abandon safe positions to help, exposing everyone to ground predators. Positioning within the tree follows strict hierarchy. The matriarch claims the central fork where main branches diverge, maximum stability and protection. Mothers with infants get positions near the trunk for added security. Single adults take the more dangerous outer branches where breaking limbs or predator attacks pose greater risks. But the injured teenager poses a dilemma. His status earned through yesterday's heroism suggests inner tree positioning, but his physical limitations make him liability in prime spots. The group compromises. He gets a secure position, but shares branch space with strong adults who can support him if he falls during sleep. The pre-sleep inventory reveals today's losses and gains. 3 stone tools broken during processing. 1 digging stick cracked beyond use. 2 carrying bags damaged by thorns. But successful foraging yielded new materials. Strong fibers for rope. Sharp stones for future tools. Medicinal plants for emerging illnesses. Water distribution becomes critical as bodies prepare for 10-hour fasts until morning's first drink. Pregnant women receive extra portions. Dehydration could trigger premature labor. Nursing mothers need additional fluids for milk production. The elderly get careful monitoring, since their kidneys process water less efficiently. The final ritual involves scent management. Your band uses crushing aromatic leaves to mask human odors that attract predators. Certain plants repel insects whose bites carry disease. Others confuse the scent tracking abilities of nocturnal hunters. You're turning yourself into something that smells less like prey. Weapons placement follows careful logic. Sharp stones are distributed to every adult's reach, but secured against accidental drops that might injure sleepers below. Digging sticks serve as clubs if ground predators attempt to climb. Even children receive blunt implements they can swing if attacked. The communication system shifts to touch and whisper. Hand squeezes indicate different warnings. Single squeeze for suspicious sounds. Double for confirmed danger. Triple for immediate flight. Silence becomes survival tool because night hunters rely heavily on hearing to locate prey. As true darkness falls, your band settles into the tree's embrace. 60 individuals arranged like living fruit among the branches. Bodies pressed together for warmth. Hands free for weapons. Eyes watching the ground below where amber eyes reflect starlight. The night preparation rituals are complete. You've transformed from scattered foragers into a coordinated defensive unit. The tree that seemed like simple shelter has become a fortress, carefully staffed and supplied for the siege that every African night represents. Now comes the hardest part, staying alive until dawn. In the tree's darkening embrace, the oldest female becomes your band's most valuable member. At 38, ancient beyond measure in your world, she carries 4 decades of survival knowledge that could mean the difference between your children living or dying. Her weathered hands trace patterns on bark as she teaches through touch what vocal cords can't yet express. Each scar tells lessons learned through pain. The thin line across her palm from misjudging a sharp stone, the missing finger joint from a honey badger encounter, the claw marks on her shoulder from surviving a leopard attack at 17. Tonight, she shares weather wisdom that took decades to accumulate. Her fingers count tomorrow's wind patterns by feeling tonight's air currents through the canopy. The way leaves rustle indicates morning rain probability. Branch movement suggests approaching storms that could bring lightning, flash floods, or the territorial shifts that drive predators toward your band. Your 7-year-old son positions himself beside her, absorbing knowledge that schools won't formalize for 2 million years. She demonstrates plant identification through smell alone, critical when daylight isn't available for visual confirmation. Sweet scents indicate ripe fruits. Bitter odors warn of toxins. Decay smells reveal which trees harbor the grubs that provide protein during lean times. Her memory contains the locations of every seasonal resource within a day's travel. Water sources that persist through droughts. Fruit trees that ripen at specific times. Root patches that regenerate after careful harvesting. Caves suitable for emergency shelter. Escape routes when territorial predators claim traditional areas. The injured teenager receives special attention tonight. She's seen this injury pattern before. Arms that heal crooked but remain functional. Her fingers probe his bone alignment, assess muscle development, predict future limitations. Through touch and demonstration, she teaches exercises that prevent the stiffening that could make him future leopard food. But her most valuable knowledge concerns predator behavior patterns learned through encounters that killed others. Leopards hunt in specific sequences. They scout during evening, position during early night, attack in pre-dawn darkness. Lions avoid climbing but will wait below trees until dawn forces descent. Hyenas work in patient relays, taking turns to exhaust prey through persistent pressure. She demonstrates the subtle signs that indicate predator presence before direct contact occurs. Bird calls that change when large carnivores approach. insect silences that suggest something lethal nearby, ground vibrations that warn of approaching danger while escape remains possible. Your infant receives her particular attention. New mothers often panic when babies cry at night, potentially alerting predators to human presence. Her hands teach pressure points that calm infants without harm, positions that allow nursing while maintaining readiness for emergency climbing, techniques for moving babies quickly without waking them during danger. The plant medicine knowledge she shares could save tomorrow's sick children. Which bark strips fight fever? What root combinations stop bleeding? How to process certain leaves to extract nutrients during food shortages? Knowledge accumulated through watching treatments succeed or fail over decades of daily crises. Her stories, told through gesture and demonstration, contain practical information disguised as entertainment. The tale of escaping cave bears teaches specific climbing techniques. Adventures with crocodiles reveal water approach strategies. Encounters with aggressive baboon troops show how to read animal social dynamics. Most importantly, she teaches decision-making under pressure. Through countless examples, she demonstrates how to assess multiple threats simultaneously. When to fight, when to flee, when to freeze. How to read group dynamics during crisis. Which individuals to prioritize when not everyone can be saved. The social knowledge she imparts transcends individual survival. She knows the relationship patterns that maintain group cohesion across generations. Which personalities clash dangerously. How to resolve conflicts before they fragment the band. When individual sacrifice serves group survival. As night deepens, her presence provides psychological comfort that enables sleep despite surrounding dangers. The children relax, knowing someone with her experience watches and listens. Adults rest easier understanding that 4 decades of accumulated wisdom monitors threats they might miss. Her value to the group extends beyond knowledge transmission. She represents proof that survival is possible. Her existence demonstrates that humans can live long enough to see grandchildren, that injuries heal, that threats can be overcome through intelligence and cooperation. Tomorrow she'll be slower, weaker, more vulnerable than younger members. But tonight, she's the most important human in the tree. The walking library whose knowledge determines whether your species continues or joins the countless other experiments evolution has discarded. The last glimmer of twilight vanishes, plunging your world into absolute darkness that modern humans can't imagine. No streetlights, no house lamps, no LED screens, just the star-scattered vastness of an African night where everything with teeth considers you potential dinner. Your hands grip the acacia branch tighter as sounds emerge from the darkness below. The grunt of a warthog fleeing something unseen. The splash of hippos leaving water to graze, 2 tons of territorial aggression that will kill anything in their path. The distant roar of lions beginning their nightly hunt. Without fire to create a protective barrier, your species relies entirely on height and collective vigilance. The tree becomes your castle, but a castle that sways with wind and offers no real walls. Your night vision, better than your descendants will possess but inferior to true nocturnal hunters, barely penetrates the blackness between branches. Sleep comes in fragments, never deeper than the level that allows instant awakening. Your brain cycles through light dozing, while ears monitor the soundscape for changes that signal approaching death. The infant clinging to your chest shares this alertness. Even babies understand that deep sleep equals leopard food. The first crisis arrives near midnight. Scratching sounds at the tree's base grow louder, accompanied by low grunts. Something is investigating your refuge. The grandmother's hand touches yours. 2 quick squeezes meaning stay still, not immediate danger. Her experience distinguishes between curious investigation and hunting behavior. Through the darkness, amber eyes reflect starlight, a leopard circling the tree base, testing your defenses. It knows exactly where you are, has probably been watching since sunset. Now it's calculating whether 60 humans in a tree represent opportunity or excessive risk. Your band's response is perfectly coordinated silence. No movement, no breathing changes, no infant sounds. Mothers press hands over babies' mouths. Children freeze despite cramping muscles. The leopard relies on hearing to assess prey behavior, and you're giving it nothing to work with. The predator begins climbing, slowly, testing each branch's weight capacity. Its claws scrape bark 15 feet below your position. Your heart hammers loud enough that you're certain the cat can hear it. The grandmother's hand finds yours again. One squeeze meaning wait. Then salvation arrives from an unexpected source. The warthogs that fled earlier return in a squealing rush, pursued by a pack of hunting dogs. The commotion erupts directly beneath your tree. The leopard, faced with easier prey causing chaos below, descends to investigate. Predator attention shifts from humans to frantic pigs. But the noise attracts other hunters. Hyena whoops echo across the savannah as they converge on the sounds of potential feeding. Your tree, momentarily safe from leopards, now hosts a gathering of every dangerous creature within a mile radius. The night becomes a symphony of violence. Snarls, squeals, the crack of breaking bones. The hunting dogs brought down a warthog, but hyenas are stealing their kill. Lions approach to claim the largest shares. Your refuge tree overlooks a conference of killers. Sleep becomes impossible. Every sound could signal death climbing toward you. The grandmother maintains watch, while others rest fitfully. Her whispered touch signals provide running commentary on the ground-level drama. 3 hyenas arriving, dogs retreating, lion pride moving in. Pre-dawn brings the most dangerous time. As dawn approaches, nocturnal hunters make final attempts before daylight forces them to shelter. Your band must remain alert when exhaustion peaks and vigilance weakens. This is when mistakes happen, when someone falls asleep deeply enough to tumble from branches. The injured teenager struggles most. His healing arm makes comfortable positioning impossible. Others share their space, creating human cushions that prevent his falling. Individual weakness becomes collective strength through mutual support. Your infant whimpers from hunger, but nursing requires movement that might alert predators to human presence. You endure the discomfort, knowing that feeding sounds could trigger an attack that kills not just your child, but everyone who would try to protect it. The darkness stretches endlessly. Without fire to mark time or provide psychological comfort, night feels eternal. Your ancestors faced this terror for millions of years before discovering flame. Tonight, you understand why fire became humanity's first obsession. Yet somehow, despite the surrounding danger and constant fear, your species endures. 60 humans in a tree, keeping each other alive through courage, cooperation, and the shared understanding that alone means death, while together means survival. Dawn is coming. You can sense it in the shifting sounds. The subtle air current changes, the gradual reduction in predator activity. Survive the next few hours, and you'll see another day. The darkness hasn't won yet. The scream pierces the night like lightning. Human, terrified, cut short. Someone is dying, and the sound came from directly above you. In the darkness, panic ripples through 60 bodies crammed into branches as something impossible has happened. A predator has breached your aerial sanctuary. Your hands grope frantically upward, feeling for the source. Empty space where the teenager should be sleeping. The boy who shared your branch, whose injured arm you've been protecting, has vanished into darkness. His scream still echoes in your ears, but he's gone as if the night itself swallowed him. Then you hear it, the sound that turns your blood to ice. Above you, on branches that shouldn't hold such weight, something massive moves, heavy breathing, the creak of wood under impossible load. A predator has somehow climbed higher than humans, trapping you below instead of above. The grandmother's urgent touch signals flood your awareness. Snake, giant, moving down. Your mind struggles to process this. No python should be large enough to swallow a teenager, but the sounds above confirm impossible reality. Something enormous is feeding in your supposed sanctuary. Panic threatens to fragment the group. Children whimper. Adults calculate whether to flee or fight. The maternal instinct wars with survival logic. Save the teenager or protect the remaining 59. In darkness, rescue is blind madness, but abandoning group members destroys the trust that keeps your species alive. The matriarch makes the decision that defines leadership. Her touch signals spread through the tree, form attack group, others retreat. Not everyone, not randomly, but calculated courage that maximizes chances while minimizing losses. 6 adults will attempt rescue. The rest will evacuate to another tree 50 meters away. Your hands shake as you prepare to ascend towards certain death. The teenager saved the mother from the crocodile this morning. Yesterday's hero has become tonight's victim, but abandoning him abandons the principle that makes cooperation possible. If the group won't risk danger for individuals, individuals won't risk danger for the group. The rescue formation follows practiced protocol. You climb with others in coordinated positions, not bunched together where one python strike could kill multiple humans, but spread enough to provide mutual support. Sharp stones grip in your hands, useless against something large enough to swallow humans, but comforting nonetheless. As you climb, sounds from above become clearer. Not just one predator, but a feeding frenzy. The teenager's scream attracted multiple hunters. Bats the size of children drawn by blood scent. Smaller pythons investigating the kill. Your rescue mission has become suicide, but forward momentum continues because stopping means certain death for the boy. Then a miracle. Movement above. Not the limp weight of prey being consumed, but active struggling. The teenager lives, fighting something in darkness. His good arm must be free, his legs still mobile. The sounds suggest he's wedged between branches, too large for immediate swallowing, but trapped nonetheless. The attack comes from below. While your attention focused upward, a leopard seized the opportunity to climb toward the main group. Your elevated position provides perfect vantage to watch death ascending toward your family. Torn between threats above and below, you choose the one you can actually affect. Your dive from the branches seems like flying until gravity asserts control. The leopard, focused on upward climbing, doesn't expect attack from above. Your impact sends both of you crashing through smaller branches. Sharp wood tears skin. Claws rake across your back, but the momentum breaks the cat's grip on the tree. Both bodies hit ground hard. You roll, come up running, expect death behind you, but the leopard is slower to recover, momentarily stunned by the unexpected assault. The precious seconds allow escape to another tree where the rest of your band waits, weapons ready. Above, the rescue mission succeeds through sheer determination. The teenager, wedged between branches during the python's initial strike, fought free while the snake struggled with his awkward positioning. His rescuers find him bleeding, traumatized, but breathing. The python, frustrated by difficult prey, has moved on to easier hunting. The reunion is brief but profound. Touch confirms identity in darkness. Injuries assessed through gentle probing. The teenager lives, but barely. Deep puncture wounds where fangs penetrated show how close death came. Without immediate treatment, infection could finish what the python started. Dawn still hours away. The band relocates to a different tree, abandoning the compromised refuge. Trust in your original sanctuary died with tonight's breach. Nowhere is completely safe, but some places are safer than others. The search for less dangerous shelter continues through darkness. Your back burns where leopard claws carved furrows, but you're alive. The teenager is alive. The group remains intact despite the night's terrors. Individual courage combined with collective support has beaten impossible odds once again. The midnight terror passes, leaving scars but not graves. In a world where every night brings death, surviving with everyone intact counts as victory. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, but tonight's lessons have been learned. Never assume any refuge is impregnable. Always maintain escape routes. Sometimes the only way to save others is to risk everything yourself. And courage, shared among many, can overcome predators that would easily defeat individuals. The darkness hasn't finished with you yet, but you haven't finished with it either. The first grey light creeps across the horizon like hope made visible. You've survived another night in prehistoric Africa, 60 souls intact despite pythons, leopards, and the 1,000 smaller terrors that stalk darkness. But dawn brings no rest, only the transition to daylight dangers. Your body aches from the night's cramped positioning and yesterday's violence. The claw marks across your back throb with each movement, but you're alive, which in your world represents success beyond measure. The teenager you helped rescue clings to consciousness, fever building from infected puncture wounds, but breathing steadily. The matriarch begins morning assessment with practiced efficiency. 60 individuals checked for injuries, illness, or the subtle signs that indicate someone won't survive another day. The grandmother's ankle swells from a fall during last night's tree evacuation. A child shows spots that could signal disease. An adult male favors his left side, suggesting internal damage from a previous injury. These evaluations determine today's survival strategy. Can the injured travel? Should the sick be isolated or supported? Who's strong enough for dangerous tasks? In your world, accurate health assessment means the difference between successful foraging and death during predator encounters. The tree that sheltered you through the night now becomes a prison. Staying means eventual starvation. Leaving means exposure to the hunting cycles that define African mornings. Hyenas returning to overnight kills, lions settling into day rest, leopards making final hunts before seeking shade. Water needs force movement despite the risks. Dehydration kills faster than predators, and yesterday's supply won't sustain 60 humans through another scorching day. The band prepares for the descent with movements refined through years of practice, weapons checked, formation assigned, escape routes identified. The teenager can't climb down alone. His fever makes coordination impossible. Infected wounds limit strength. 4 adults create a living transport system. 2 supporting his weight, 2 providing protection. The group's resources committed to saving 1 individual because abandoning wounded members eventually means no group survival. Your infant clings tighter as movement begins. Children sense adult tension, responding with heightened alertness that sometimes saves lives. Your 3-year-old positions himself exactly where taught, close enough for protection, far enough to avoid hindering adult movement. Even toddlers understand survival protocols. The descent reveals yesterday's battlefield. Bones scattered where hyenas finished the warthog kill. Bloodstains where predators fought over shares. Vultures already cleaning the remains, their presence indicating no immediate large predator presence. Nature's cleanup crew provides invaluable intelligence about current threats. Ground level means vulnerability, but also freedom to move toward resources. Your band forms the standard travel formation. Scouts ahead, strong adults on flanks, vulnerable members protected in center. The injured teenager travels within the safest position, carried when necessary, supported always. The sun climbs higher, warming air that carries scent information across vast distances. Your improved sense of smell, far superior to your descendants, reads the wind like morning news. Carnivore musk from the north, fresh elephant dung to the east, the sweet scent of ripening fruit somewhere beyond immediate perception. Movement becomes ritual dance with death. 40 steps forward, pause to listen, scan for threats, assess group condition, continue. The rhythm prevents ambush while maintaining travel speed necessary for covering distance before peak heat forces shelter seeking. Today's survival repeats yesterday's patterns but with new variables, different water sources, changed predator territories, fresh opportunities for food or disaster. Your band adapts continuously, applying yesterday's lessons to today's challenges while preparing for tomorrow's unknowns. The promise of dawn isn't safety. No such thing exists in your world. The promise is opportunity. Another day to gather food, teach children, strengthen bonds, accumulate the knowledge that enables your species' slow march toward a future you can't imagine. 60 humans moving across the African savanna represent more than individual survival. You're the experiments that will eventually produce modern humanity. Your daily struggles to stay alive, your innovations in cooperation and technology, your refusal to abandon group members, these form the foundation for everything humans will become. The dawn brings promise because you're still here to see it. Still breathing, still thinking, still caring for each other despite living in a world designed to kill you. Every sunrise survived moves your species one day closer to mastering this hostile planet. The sun rises on Africa's most successful experiment. Cooperation incarnate, moving steadily toward a destiny written in stone tools and shared meals, and the absolute determination to keep everyone alive for one more day. Dawn's promise kept. The experiment continues.